Alright, I'm recording.
All right. We're all here for episode 2 of JDOG. We got some exciting topics to go into tonight. We already introduced ourselves last time, so I think we could probably just skip that and get right into the thick of things.
Yeah. I mean, Callum, what if these are just new members right now? Right? So
Fair enough. All right.
I'm Lev, that's Callum, that's Jay. I don't know if I was actually pointing to the right person or not. But yeah, we got dreams and we're here to analyze them. And if you guys have any dreams, then type it down in the comments below and then we will analyze those dreams afterwards in a future episode. Cool. Callum, do you want to get started on your dream? Because you look like you were rearing to go right before we started this, so let's go.
This one was I've been having some dark, like, demented dreams recently for some reason, and like there's a lot to unpack in these for sure. But I'm gonna go with my my Pikmin dream. So like a Pikmin is like, it was like a Nintendo game that came out like 15 years ago, and they're like these little, like, it's the best way to describe them. They're like these little, like, earth guys that you followed around, and like they're little miniature guys, and like you went into dirt and plant and you like built stuff with them. They multiplied, but I had a dream about them, and they happened to be eating people's heads. So I'm gonna jump into what I wrote down, like in my dream journal on my computer. So basically, I had a dream where I was in a grocery store / a food court or mall type area, and I was walking around, and I observed these little white Pikmins that would pop out. And these little white Pikmin start jumping on people's heads and faces and eating their heads off. It wasn't gory or anything, but they nimbly just almost erased their head. Like, they would kind of like jump on your head, and like people wouldn't really notice them, and they would just like kind of go around your head, and like the people would just like fall down like that, and their like faces would become like porcelain or like some sort of vase type thing when they hit the ground, and they'd kind of like shatter everywhere like that, like just straight faced. So continuing on, it seemed the people in the store were oblivious to them, and they just kept popping up and eating their heads anyway. As their heads were getting eaten, then there was a moment where this TV sports announcer I know, head fell to the ground and he was dead, and his head was frozen, like that of Luke Skywalker when he battles Darth Vader on Yoda's planet. Like, if anybody knows that scene, it's when he like goes into when there's like kind of that side part where he goes to like that bog or that deep part of the swamp, and like he battles Darth Vader, and then he cuts off Darth Vader's head, and then his mask pops up, and it happens to be Luke Skywalker himself. Which there's a lot within just that scene of Star Wars. But then like at the end, there was also another like celebrity, Nick Cannon, which I have no idea why he was there. But like he was running away from all these big men, and he was like, "Oh crap!" And like I was like starting to run to him out of the exit, and that's kind of what I remember from the dream. So it's just like people's heads getting eaten by these little like white, like earthy characters that are from like Nintendo. So yeah, that's what happened the other night when I had a dream.
Dang, that is pretty wild to say the least.
I wonder what Nick Cannon's type is.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering.
Probably like an ESFP, or I don't know. He just seems like an entertainer.
Nick Cannon was with Mariah Carey, right? Or am I thinking of somebody else?
I don't think so.
Mariah Carey being an ESTJ, so an ESFP would, go okay, not the worst.
Yeah, that would make kind of sense.
Nick Cannon. Really
some benefactor relationship right there.
Yeah. Mariah Carey, 2008 to 2016, so not bad. Yeah.
Wait, they were married for that long, or they were dating for that long?
It looks like it said that they were married for that long, then divorced in 2016. Yeah, so sounds. I'm trying to like get some ideas for this, but Perhaps maybe like video games is eating people's minds is what your dream is about or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it could
It's
be that. I think, I kind of draw to the theme of, what Dawn of the Dead is about, right? And so that's a bunch of zombies or like the living dead, like in a mall, right? And so I think the whole point, or one of the main points of that movie was that, we'd become too consumeristic as a society. And so, like, people were sinning too much. And so the dead started to walk the earth. Or at least that's like kind of the idea. And they end up going to the most materialistic place, the mall, and like hanging out there and waiting out the zombie apocalypse. Whenever I dream about something dark or disturbing happening in a mall, because it's happened once before, I think of something to do with materialism and like kind of the horrors or dangers behind that, being materialistic. So I think that's kind of one theme that's kind of popped up in my head from looking at this, specifically to the setting of it being in a mall. There's that, but the head part I think is like the crucial part to this.
Yeah, I think so. Also, when you talk, there's some like wind feedback. Like,
Let me turn that off.
Yeah.
There we go. Is that better?
Yeah.
Right, sweet.
Good.
I'm looking at beheading. I think, or like in your dream, you may have from Auntie Flo. In your dream, you may have seen others beheaded, been beheaded, cut off somebody's head, and like pretty much it's the saying: if you cut somebody's head in your dream, you will have success against enemies and competitors. I don't know if this is quite right with this.
yeah, because that's the cutting is I think different from eating.
Yeah, it's more like guillotine that I think that interpretation's getting at.
That's interesting analysis in general.
Yeah. I had a really good one like on this. Headlessness, dream meaning.
I can't really figure out why.
Yeah, this
Have
is
it.
I looked at before. Yeah, it says to dream of a body losing its head or being decapitated would be horrifying. Get out of your ad. And may also involve other attacking or fighting. But other times, a headless body in a dream or a head with no body can seem more bizarre than disturbing, as if you were somehow separated from the feelings of the dream. All right, let's see here. Right? Because, according to this, let's see, the head often, like, what does the head represent just itself?
Brain, intelligence.
Yeah. Intellect, emotions, it's kind of where everything happens, right?
Yeah,
So
but
it's like
usually emotions, it's
the heart.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or the
So,
head of the household, head of like the company, head of.
right?
Uh,
Or like your ego, like could be something like that. Some seeing other people's heads getting eaten off, but like I'm in like kind of materialistic setting, of consumerism, like the bastion.
I don't know. That's the only thing I could think of.
Also, it's like they're Pikmin, right? So they're little small things, and it's a bunch of them eating away.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it could be like a bunch of small things, like out one, like if there's just one of them eating away at you, it's like you can flick it off, it's not a problem. But if there's like millions of them eating away, like a little small things, it's kind of like, so you know how like with like you were mentioning before with the guillotine, or the sword or whatever, it's just one slice, you're done, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like if you were in like a car accident, right? It's one thing that just kills you. But these Pikmin are like small little things that are eating away at you. So like little like things that are bothering you, whatever, and it's adding up enough that it just like eats your head. I don't know.
No, I think you're onto something for sure, and it's like, kind of the vibes that I got from the Pikmin was like insect-like, right? It was just like creepy, crawly, like type of vibe. So there's just something very insidious about like what they were doing, or kind of what the sentiment that they gave me in my dream, right? So it's just like when you kind of put that together, it's like, to me, it's like they're eating away at, like, something is, I'm noticing something eating away at society, because I think these random people just represent like random people that are out and about, right? And they're like almost, I don't know, like they're like not even, because like also in the dream, like they didn't even realize they were getting eaten away, right? Or like at first, and they just kind of like fell to the ground. So it's almost like they're kind of like I don't know, like this just random people that are just like, the consumers of society getting eaten away by these little like insect things, that are giving into like their materialism. And like, I think honestly, to Jay's point, which might sound kind of ridiculous, it might be kind of TE demon related in some sense. I don't know. That's kind of what I've come up.
Also, just like society, and you could like relate to the society in general right now. Social conditioning, people mindlessly following whatever they've been,
Exactly.
and then that ruining their life later on, which also symbolizes like them falling over, I guess. And didn't you say they turned into like porcelain or something?
Yeah, their faces were like, just like in the Star Wars scene, it's like the face is just like, like that.
Like getting turned to stone.
Getting turned, yeah, exactly.
Callum, you said they were white Pikmin?
Yeah, I don't know what to make of that.
Yeah, so white Pikmin, okay, here's the explanation of what do white Pikmin do. Because they are assimilated to the poison in their bodies, white Pikmin are immune to all outside sources of poison. This allows them to destroy poison pipes and walk through poisonous emissions unharmed. So
they're cleansing things.
Yeah, kind of sounds like they're, eating away at the poison.
Eating away at the poison of the consumerist society that we live in.
Yeah, it could be.
And I'm like running away in terror because I'm also there too shopping. I'm like, oh shit, I don't want to end up like them.
Right. Jay, what were you gonna say?
That's just interesting because first we went into this thinking the Pikmin were probably like not, they represented something negative, but based on that,
I don't think they are.
Or it could be something neutral. How were you feeling in the dream? Like,
it was creepy and scary. I was just like, ugh, like grossed out almost. By this was happening. Like there was no gore, right? Because it was like they were just being erased off, and they turned, like what Jay said, they turned to stone and fell apart, right? But it was just like this weird kind of creepy, almost insidious like vibe going on in the dream, right?
Wait,
and so like
they wouldn't eat the head, they would just chomp it off and then spit it out, or what?
it's like they attached onto the back of somebody's head, and they like went around like almost like erasing it, and like the people didn't realize. And then at one point, that's where I saw like a TV announcer. I don't know why he was in my dream. A famous person, like
Nick Cannon.
Yeah, Nick Cannon. But then there's also like some sports announcer that I grew up with, who was like the Mets announcer, who was like always the guy that they would be like, all right, let's go to Kevin Burkhardt in the field. He'd be like, hey guys, I'm here. And that guy got it, like his head eaten. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, why is he there? And no, but I think there's also some symbolism or significance to having a famous person in your dream. Not like that guy's that famous, right? He's only really famous.
So they would never ingest. They would never ingest.
No, they would just like go around and like eat away almost at like somebody's head. It's like eating away at their ego, like erasing their, cleansing it, right? And I think that's why the Pikmin from the game, I would guess the producers chose them as white to kind of be pure, or like
angelic tea.
Angelic. But they also have those big red eyes too, right? So there's
they're quite creepy looking. They're the creepiest looking out of all of them.
I need to
have a look at it, Jay, when you have a second.
Or maybe we do like screen share and like share it with the audience.
Oh yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah, I could. I just need the thing is right now I'm recording the on my screen.
Wait, let me see.
If one of you guys could just share your screen, that'd be good.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that in just a second. Here we go. Share content.
And exit out of Hub before he shares the screen.
Yeah. Well, that's how it looks like.
They look like flies.
See, compared to all the other ones, they all look decent. The white one though looks like he's possessed or something like that.
Yeah, like demonic almost. You know, with those red eyes, just like.
Yeah.
Oh.
What was did the Pikmin look like this exactly, or did they look different?
I feel like I remember seeing the red eyes, or like the red eyes stood out to me for some reason, but they were like, yeah, I don't. They definitely were like the little white guys. You know, maybe they were a little bit bigger, like that, like muscular jacked one that was right there, but they were for the most part that kind of size. You know, so it could be like cleansing society's mind almost. You know, like
Yeah,
they're kind of like this angel demon thing, or like they're, you know, almost balanced between the good and the bad, right, or evil, like almost like what's that concept? It's like Gabriel, the angel, where he's like the angel from hell or something like that, kind of like that kind of dichotomy, where he's like, you know, he's coming from the good side, but he's also got lots of evil like characteristics to the character. But I think that's probably what that is. So it probably is a TE. It could be very well a TE.
Like that's the only function I could think of. You like you're cleansing that, and then also it's attacking the head.
Exactly. Everybody else's thoughts too. Extroverted thinking right there.
Yeah, plus you said they turn into stone. Stone's more related to SI, right? With Earth. So you're kind of taking the life force out of them. Life force, guess could be related to NI. I could be wrong because NI is the sun. Sun gives life. I'm stretching it kind of too far though.
No,
But
but I think
this
Stone
whole dream is a stretch, bro.
yeah. It's a tough one, right? But I think I would probably make the bet that because it's a little bit darker and kind of this weird vibe, that it probably is from the dark depths of my own mind, that being my demon function, and who knows, maybe even my trickster function too, right? SI to TE, the SI being the stone, you know, kind of that representation. Very well could be. I think that.
Ego.
What was that?
Your super ego.
Yeah, super ego, exactly. Yeah, trying to, I guess, warn me about the the problems that come with trying to transition to my super ego. Maybe that's kind of what this is saying.
Maybe it's like it's like an ESTJ. I don't know what an ESTJ super ego is supposed to look like, but I guess ESTJs could wield enough power just in general in society where they could like control people's minds. I guess like that's why they're politicians and everything. So if you look at it from the other way, like maybe you're trying to wield that same power but use it differently.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Cleanse the poison out of all the people's minds, all the bad TE.
I mean, you might be doing it in a very manipulative way, but at that point, like, who's to say if it's good or bad?
Right, and that's why you have those like Pikmin that look innocent, but they're not. You know.
Yeah.
That are like angelic, but they're also devilish too. You know.
It's the only thing I can think of.
That's fucking cool. That was my first thought too. I'm like, I think that was a TE demon like dream. Go figure. My God. I like this conclusion, right?
Yeah.
Like ESTJ's super ego. Whether that's what that was or not, like I like where we've come or drawn our conclusions collectively.
Pretty sure that's the farthest we can go, anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
Jay, do you have a dream ready, or would you like?
One second. I think my dream was pretty short. There wasn't that much detail, but roll up.
While you're at it, I'm gonna look through my earlier dreams or my latest dreams, but there's nothing like I have like a story around any of them, and they're very quite short. But I have actually some interesting insights looking at all my past dreams. and I'll tell after Jay's
Interesting.
done.
All right,
Like-
so my dream. So there's a game show, and I was just watching this on TV. There's a game show where people get sent out to survive in this like rusty building, and it was like super rusty. It's almost like a zombie apocalypse, like post-apocalyptic, like atomic warfare, kind of like inside of a building, like Fallout. And basically, everyone who I know or I care about, like anyone who has any personal importance to me, gets sent out, except me. But, like I was upset because like I wanted to go, like I wanted to go really badly, and everyone else was scared, but I was more so like excited to go. Like I really wanted to go with everyone. Because like everyone apparently like when I was with my interpretation of the show, even though I didn't have never seen it, was everyone who goes ends up dead. And then I just wanted to make it out alive with everyone. And I was just excited to do that. But then I was upset because I didn't get a chance to go. Like I wasn't chosen or whatever. That's pretty much it.
So if you were chosen within for this game, you would have survived, or you would have died with
I
everybody.
have no idea. I just was optimistic about making it out.
Oh, so you would have gone in and you had no idea what your chances were of survival.
Yeah. I was
Very-
confident that we could get out. But I wouldn't know for sure, right?
And like you were optimistic, but you were in this like very dark place, pretty much.
Yeah, actually, so the building was like where people were sent to, but I was just in a dark room. Like it was like the only thing I remember was dark. I was sitting on like a couch or sofa, and I was just looking at the TV, and there were no lights on, like nothing.
Huh. Oh, that's getting more interesting. All right, so you're in this dark room watching the TV, and you're watching all your friends get selected to go to this building to go play
Yeah,
this.
so like nothing happens. They were just selected, and they were like there. Like I never saw anything like actually take place.
Yeah. I mean, my first thought is fear of abandonment again. You know, maybe
Yeah.
beating that drum a little bit too much, so I don't want to like just hit on that and be like, oh, it's just a fear of abandonment dream every time you come up with a dream because you're not.
That's definitely true though. That's definitely could be.
But I think there's something more to it. Well, I mean, it's also like you're staying optimistic in a like a dark setting too, right? Like
Right.
it seems like the odds are probably against you, like, but you feel like you have good odds anyway. So that's interesting too, you know.
More of
And
an ego subconscious thing, different from what we've said about the other dreams so far.
Yeah, I was definitely thinking it was a more SC, not necessarily like inferior, but it's like NISC, like you will your way, and and isn't it that NI users make their own odds? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So,
yeah, that's true.
right? So it's like, oh, I want to perform, and I actually want to beat everybody that hasn't been able to make it through
Yeah,
this, and it's
yes.
just like, oh shoot, now I'm not even given an opportunity to do that. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that wasn't any user telling you like, no, you're risking your life for this. It's like not worth it necessarily. So,
Right.
Well, you also have to look at dreams as like a way to represent, because it's like your brain trying to tell you something that you usually do tell yourself in a different way, right? So maybe it's like me like telling myself like, oh, like all these, you know how, because last time I was like, oh, my friends and like all this, like they're like living this life and I feel bad for them, etc., etc. So if they're all getting sent there, maybe I'm like optimistic about going there with them, maybe like corrupting myself in a way, I guess, and then taking all of them out with me in a way. Like, does that make sense?
You're like taking them all out of the game, or like taking them all out
Well,
of
like succeeding, like getting them out of that,
getting
whatever
them
that
out
was.
of the building
Yeah.
where they're all potentially going to perish.
Right, which is like I can make that analogous to, like, sometimes I'm like, oh man, I just wish like I was able to just take everyone's like unhappy situation right now and just give them all this advice, and they would just follow it, and like they would just be happier and like out of that dark place.
So like out, like yeah, wanting that outcome, but yeah, you're not your movement.
I mean, my subconscious is outcome focused.
That's true, yeah. And this sounds like an SE dream, right, where you want to perform.
But yeah, that's like you have
Left
to look
cone.
at the dreams that way. So.
So yeah, I mean, it seems like you want to will your way to perform to other people, but there's something, maybe your any nemesis that's like, yo, dude, like stay in this room, like you're not gonna like make it out of there alive.
Or
Maybe
it's
it's
just like how it is now, right? Like I'm in the room, like I feel like I'm out. Like I feel like I'm satisfied, like with my life, but
mm,
they're not. So I want to like jump in there with them and take them out.
and save them.
Yeah,
And
basically.
that's yeah, savior complex. I kind of got that vibe a little bit too.
I'm kind of drawing a blank here. Like, I'm just thinking, but I can't seem to figure out what it could be though. You're in a game show. You have think that you have the odds of beating it out, but the thing is that everybody that goes into the game show dies.
Oh, yeah. That's so interesting. Cause like the thing is, I wasn't selected, right? Like, I was just sad because I'm not there.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, I think you felt like you were left out. You wanted to, kind of like a soldier going to war, like like Lieutenant Dan from from Forrest Gump. Like he wants to be on the battlefield and die just like everybody else and his family before him. Like you don't want to be like the survivor almost. Maybe survivor's guilt, kind of maybe
Or
seeing
maybe,
that.
yeah, like that's true. Like I want to go in and like I want to save everyone, but maybe it's the hard lesson of maybe some people are just, maybe some people just have to be like that, you know? So not everyone can make it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's
You have to
just
look out for
reality.
your needs. Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, because sorry, go ahead, Jay. Sorry, Colin.
And I think it does tie back to your last stream, or what or your theme, right? What was it last time you were saying? I think I
Last
remember.
one, I don't remember.
But it was like something to do with your friend, like felt sad or something. You wanted to give them chiquitos, like tacos
Oh
or
yeah,
something.
the freaking, yeah, that, and then like Chase was talking to me about like, oh, like INF, this is why INFJs are alone, easy, and
And you're alone again, aren't you? And this dream.
yes.
So that's a
Sure.
continuation of the
But,
theme,
but the
right?
difference is in the other dream, I actually felt like I was upset. In this one, it wasn't that. Like I wasn't upset about being alone. It was
Mm.
weird. Like I didn't feel lonely.
But you were bummed, or like what was the sentiment
Yeah,
about?
literally, I was just like, fuck, like
Oh man.
god damn it, dude. Like why am I not there? Like
Yeah. So maybe that's some progression, right? Going from like, being sad to being just bummed, right?
yeah.
I could be something there too. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, my family isn't really in here.
Yeah.
Missing out on a shared experience, but that shared experience could have been everybody's death.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was just the only thing that really back to the other dream was Chase telling me INFJs end up becoming lonely because they never reach out to people. That's the only thing it back to.
But here you're not feeling lonely, but you want to like go die in battle almost.
Yeah.
In some sense. I'm gonna look up. I've got Hunger Games dream meaning up here. Let me see if I can share my screen. See how technologically.
It's crazy because when I like wake up and I remember these, what the hell was that? And then when we actually talk about it, like, oh, like this side of the mind. Like I don't
Right?
think about that when I wake up. Like I
Yeah,
can't even
yeah,
make those
same.
There's
connections.
a lot going on. All right, hold up. All right. To dream of being in the Hunger Games may reflect the pressure you feel to succeed under, but you weren't in it. So, like, I don't know how much this pertains to that. Feeling forced into a situation, you may feel that winning is urgent or dire, right? Your life was on the line, like in the Hunger Games. All or nothing situations as being forced upon you.
See, that's
Like
the
it's
thing. It wasn't forced on me. I wanted to force it on myself. even weirder.
Yeah, so it's like performance. It sounds like you wanted to perform, because like you're like I can beat the odds,
Yeah.
but like there's something holding you back. That was like no, like it's probably better, or like there for some reason you were in a dark room by yourself, and it ended up helping you.
Yeah. But the thing is, I really don't know, right? Because I
Mm.
never knew how like it fleshed out like for my friends. Like they were just there, which I guess again relates back to real life because I don't know what they're gonna turn out to be like. Like I just know they're starting to get there.
Yeah,
So
very interesting. So it's just kind of telling about. It's just kind of almost stopping after, or it's just like falling off a cliff. Like you don't know what the outcome will be.
maybe all I can do is just sit and watch. Maybe that's all I can do.
Exactly. I like that.
Fuck, that sucks.
As they go and perish to their death.
Yeah, some people aren't meant to make it out. That's how it is.
Callum, when you said like you don't know what you're gonna get, I was thinking, oh, you could have just easily lay up with another Forrest Gump reference. I was like, oh, it's like life's a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Maybe Jay will dream about like being Forrest Gump next or something.
Maybe.
He'll be Forrest Gump saving Lieutenant Dan in like the bush of of Vietnam. That'd be nuts.
Yeah, this just seems like a very like just an ego-focused dream. Hero, optimistic, SC inferior, SC in general. Maybe TI child god complex thinking I could just get in and save everyone.
Yeah.
FE parent wanting to do that.
That seems like what it is.
Jay, what do you how this is gonna be hard to ask you because you're SI demon, but from all the dreams that you've had, how many do you feel like more of them are subconscious focused or more of them are shadow focused? Well, I guess, and
Well,
also
I've had some
super
dreams
ego.
from childhood that I remember. I guess a lot of my dreams from my childhood were subconscious focused. Like I remember in one of them, we were like it was like a video. I was always in video games, always, and I was like the character in the video game, and like beating everyone, basically competing.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
Because then I think that's what I got to start doing. I think maybe you guys should too, is tracking what side of the mind do you think the dreams are.
Yeah.
And then like if you are more shadow focused, are you getting more subconscious dreams because you're trying to fill that side of your mind? Or if you are shadow focused and you're getting shadow dreams, are you stuck in that side of the mind trying to figure something out?
Yeah, because I think if anything, this session is telling us it's like, at least I thought at first, it's like, oh, it all seems like it's unconscious focused, nemesis function, that just seemed to pop up a lot for some reason, but that doesn't necessarily have to be the case at all. You could very well have, an inferior / aspirational function dream that you transition. Like I've definitely had some very like adventurous dreams where I think they've been more ISTP focused, right? Like I'm like doing all this crazy like Bear Grylls type shit, like moving, full movement. Like I just feel like I'm moving along, and that's definitely been more ISTP focused. Because I think to your point, it can definitely tell you what your mind's seeking to, what side of your mind what like you're trying to seek, right? Or like what your mind's trying to tell you to fill, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which kind of goes into what I'm kind of theorizing right now with a lot of dreams that I've like looked back on. Because I have like a long list on my phone that just, I've been recording since like for like over 2 years now.
Damn.
And I noticed they're not all in like great detail, right? But I noticed that there's like a underlying theme to all of them, and it's just like everything's related to my childhood, and I have no idea why. It seems like I'm trying to like go back to my childhood, and it's like I'm not like aiming to like do that. Like I'm not actively trying to do that in my life, but maybe it's something that I should do, or maybe I should just like look back on. I don't know. maybe close the door on it. I don't know, or maybe open it. I don't know. But I noticed as I was like reading through my dreams, it's like holy crap! I have a lot of dreams like related to Harry Potter and Hogwarts. I'm like, why? So weird. And like even the characters like McGonagall, Harry Potter, of course. Sirius Black was in one of the dreams. I think even Hermione and Ron was there. Maybe Draco. I don't know. I don't think Draco was necessarily there, but I feel like he may have been.
Very INFP focused, like you're very whimsical, like you're the dreamer.
Yeah. And it's like also looking into the fact that a lot of my dreams happen to be related to a lot of people I went to school with in my elementary school. And it's like, why am I not dreaming of people from my high school? It's like everybody's from elementary school. And it's like before I used to be always like Victor and my cousin Larissa. But now I'm like looking through the notes and it's just like, holy crap, like I'm dreaming about people that like I never like even think about ever in my daily life. Just like a couple of, like girls that were just like I never really talked to them, whatever, but they just show up in my dream. And just like, what is going on?
And you're not in contact with any of them, right?
No, I'm not.
Do you see them on like Instagram or social media?
Like one of them. But I don't know why this one was just like. I don't see him or see her on Instagram or Facebook, and I don't even really use Facebook at all. So like, I don't know.
Let's do a thought experiment. Just like that one girl, I know you probably don't know anything about her or like have kept in touch, but in your own words, what do you think she could represent? Like innocence,
Let me have a look at the dream actually, because I can bring that up.
Because it's all from your own mental point of origin, right? Like what this girl represents. Like
yeah, exactly.
She might have like gone on and like become a single mom or something. You have no idea. You're like, oh my god, But from what you heard in like elementary school, she was like the sweet girl who always helped you with your crayons or something. I don't know.
Yeah, let me say the dream first, and then I'll tell you what I thought of her. It was like the Yuki guys, meaning like my friends and like my Ukrainian friends, because we have like a small group of Ukrainian friends. Nice. Which all went to the same elementary school. It's a Ukrainian elementary school, so it's all like we're kind of unique that way. No other culture has that. The Yuki guys sang Ukrainian Christmas songs in this barnyard very well. I tried to get a small solo in, but there was that girl. She didn't pick up on it, and then that was it. And I'm just like, well, what the hell? I don't know. And she's not like. So that was just like the only small thing with her. So maybe like the thought experiment using her isn't the best way. But I don't know why I would dream about her. Like, at the time I thought she was her mother was a teacher, a Ukrainian teacher, who was kind of like very strict with things, very traditional, very conservative, and all that. She kind of sucked as a teacher. I mean, like she was a good teacher, but she was just like she was just like. Always tried to put you in your place, and you're just like, I want my freedom. So, I was a bit of a troublemaker too. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I look at her as like, no, she's fine now, but maybe back then I didn't really care for her. I didn't really like her too much. But I don't know. It's like, it's kind of fugazi. Don't even worry too much about it, I would say. So
it feels like it's SI comfort zone. Like that's what I'm getting,
So that's like my theory after reading all this is that there's like something child related. I feel like it's got something to do with SI parent or like SI experiences from the past and any child, and it's just like it wants to have childlike experiences again, but it's like it's not getting it. Maybe it's because like I don't feel like I'm too wanted, but like I don't feel so bad that I'm not wanted, but it's just like I kind of want to have that experience of feeling, like a child kind of again.
Yeah.
What I think it is, I think it's a reflector function. I think it's NI trickster, because I was just reading today on, I think Chris Taylor posted something about reflector functions and how like the trickster takes over for the parent during childhood. So it's like your wants and like you have no idea what you're doing. Like, and we're polar opposites, right? So like I was trying to be SI parent and I was just a complete and I was just like a goon probably, during periods of my childhood. And it was funny, you right there, you just said like I wanted to have experiences, right, with other people. So it's almost like it's this weird reflector function gateway. I don't know, like to your trickster in some sense.
There's I have like another theory that has me thinking that it could be that I want to have a, you know how the relationship between like golden pair, bronze pair, and I guess even like INTJs very much are like the optimistic functions in a way, but with like the child functions.
Yeah.
And I think also ISFP would include that too. So I feel like almost like I need to be with people that help bring that out. I could be wrong, because you know how like the hero, the child likes to ride the hero kind of deal. That kind of gives like a childlike experience. I think Chase has talked about that before when it comes to relationships with like the bronze pair. That it's just like it feels like a lot of fun, and it's like child. You feel like you're reliving childlike experiences. Maybe I'm looking for someone that's like an INFJ.
Yeah.
I don't know about INTJ, because like lately just the INTJ that I work with at work has been pissing me off, and I don't want to deal with that. I think that might be the second time I bring that up in 2 episodes. But yeah, INFJ would be cool. ISTP I guess would be cool. I don't know. Something that makes me want to feel positive vibes with my any child.
Do you feel like you lack that now?
Yeah, I mean, kind of. I was mentioning before how like I don't really feel too wanted. I mean, I have an ESFP friend that does want me, and there's another ESFP that doesn't want me as much anymore. But the ESFP, remember, it's like NI inferior, right? So it's got more pessimistic NI.
Yeah.
Whereas like there's something about NI hero and NI child where it's like very optimistic, that it's just like, oh yeah, let's go do this, like kind of
So
deal.
I've got a question. You're talking about wanting to be around, the more the functions that bring out like an optimistic like feedback loop. Do you happen to know like what, if you had to guess, what any types these people were, like your friend Victor?
Oh yeah, so I think Victor's straight up TE hero of like I think could be ENTJ. And I think he's pragmatic. I don't really hear a lot of like abstract talk, but again, I'm not really the best when it comes to typing people, but he is kind of quite pragmatic. He's a doctor as well, so congrats on him for that. I don't think anybody imagined him being a doctor. He's kind of sucked in academics. But you know what? Actually, now that I think about it, ENTJs versus ESTJs would take their academics quite seriously. So ENTJs probably not as much. But like, I mean, of course, they like their T achievements. So I think he might be ENTJ. So let's put it at ENTJ for now. Or it could be INTJ. I could be wrong, but
like if somebody from your childhood, like like you said, used to give you like that good optimistic experience where you had NI child or you had NI hero, and it was like a positive feedback loop. And like I'm wondering if your mind's trying to tell you to, well, yeah, I mean, like you said, is probably trying to tell you to seek that out again. But I'm wondering if there was anybody that like fulfilled you in that way from your past, like already, and it's like your mind's like, yo, you should try and find this guy, now, or something like that, or this type of person.
Well,
Like
I know my cousin Larissa. She was and is still an ESFP,
okay.
and like she and I always did the funniest and craziest things when we were kids and all. And she's definitely the pragmatic one, and she loved the attention and loved like doing crazy experiences. I mean, I still remember the day she takes a piece of ham, right? And she just slaps it on the table. It's like, here you go. And I'm like, what? What am I supposed to do with it? You just put it on the desk. And it's just like, and I'm dying of laughter. My brother's dying because he's like mirroring me. He's just like, he's going crazy. I'm like, what the hell's going on? We're just laughing it up. But no, it's it's a lot of fun.
One of those moments where someone does something so stupid that you just can't control yourself.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. No, but
Learning
she
build
did
that.
laugh afterwards, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but I don't
So do
know,
you feel like you
guys.
lack that now then? Like those
Yeah,
kind
I
of
do. I definitely do. I don't
Gotta get in touch
like.
with the child side, man.
I think so. I think there's a part of me that needs that, right? Because like, I think I had a couple of other dreams where it was like related to Star Wars and to video games potentially. A little bit in terms of hockey. That tends to be a reoccurring dream where I'm like playing with some stars or playing in the Stanley Cup Finals or something like that, or setting up a cool goal. Um, but yeah, something like I've been always told to like I should be letting loose, right? Which makes
Yeah.
sense. Like SJs always like tend to, be a bit more stubborn,
Yeah, very
you know.
dry.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So, but I think it was in Chase's Golden Pair video that he was explaining, and this is kind of exclusive content that really shouldn't be said because you have to pay for it. Whatever, it happens.
Ain't money to chase.
Yeah, exactly. That is like, I think you might have mentioned this though in other videos though that were in paid content, but that like the SI user is there to be opened up, right? So I don't know how that relates to like the dreams and all that, but it had, I think from what I remember, it had something to do with SI and NE. Like you open up the SI user, and wait, actually, I don't know if that was like the right. If this, I don't, like on my perspective, this would be the ISTP. This was the ESTJ. But if it's like the opposite, then whatever. Doesn't matter. But it's like the SI user needs the SE user to open them up, and then the NE user gives them the freedom to do whatever they want, and it's like that loop and all that kind of stuff. And then that brings people into their subconscious sides, and they feel more childlike. The NE becomes the parent, and the SI becomes the child. See, that's kind of like where I was thinking of going with this. Is
I like
is
that.
I think there's a I think we're getting it, is that I need to focus and develop my INFP side.
Yeah.
Seems
Yeah.
like there's. Yeah, go ahead.
And you need somebody to help you do that too, it sounds like.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You
Jeez,
know?
yeah. Can't I don't I guess I can't, like, cause I think I've been trying to do it alone, but it's like not happening, right?
Yeah.
I have an
need
ENFJ. Sorry, go ahead.
Mind, it sounds like.
Say what?
You need a Templar to help you unlock the other side of your mind.
Yeah, I mean, I have my brother who's an ENFJ, but I think that's kind of like we have a really good relationship together, but I think that could be doing it the expedient route as opposed to the meaningful route.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like short-term fixes, and it's not fixing what's the real issue. And it's, I guess maybe it's like causing a bit of pain, but it's not like I'm feeling any pain from him. He's a great guy. I love him. But I feel like I need something closer to like either ISFP, ISTP, INFJ, or maybe INTJ.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
then
there's only some synchronicity that a superego matchup can give you, right?
Yeah.
when you go out, like even whenever you've went out with or you've socialized with people, how do you feel in those gatherings?
Okay, so it depends on who I'm with. And it's funny because like I'm with usually a group of guys that we gel pretty well together, but when I'm alone with a couple of them, I can be able to like be more myself and be more outspoken and all that. But then all of a sudden, I don't want to gripe on starter types, but when you have two starter types, an ESFP and an ESFJ, and they can just keep talking and talking and talking, and you just don't get any edgewise. My FI inferior just goes like, yeah, forget it. I feel like I'm kind of like, I can't have a say in this, and the funny thing is that it's just always progression. It's not like an end and then it's just like,
Yeah.
okay,
On to the next thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, ugh, it's frustrating. But it's funny, like with other people though, it's like I spend like 95% of the time with those people, but then like with other people, I'm able to be just like myself, just like I am with you guys, just like being able to explain everything pretty well. So
Yeah, because usually dreams are like how me, right? Dreams are a way for your brain or self to tell something to yourself that you normally wouldn't do in your conscious, because either you're too afraid or you don't want to accept it. Um,
yeah.
like you are like it's like something you would think to yourself if you almost if you were mature enough, or if you were like developed enough kind of to let yourself like think that to yourself.
Hmm.
Locked. But the dreams are the only place where it's like open. So maybe like yeah, Tom's right. Like you have all these friends and stuff, but like maybe you're afraid to tell yourself that you might not be actually having as much fun as you want to.
I think mature is a a way of saying it. I
I don't know. I
feel
can't
like
find the right word. I know what you're.
I was kind
I think
I
you're
was
on the right track for sure.
yeah, I was thinking more like enlightened almost in a
Yeah,
way,
yeah.
because like mature is right. It's just not 100% right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I just like picked a word. It wasn't that. It definitely wasn't accurate.
No, no,
But
it's okay. It's okay.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It's like I think it's like dreams are. It's like about making your unconscious conscious. Not talking about like sides of the mind or whatever, but like just the unknown known, right? So
Yeah.
like for example, like with my TV dream, maybe I've just wanted to tell myself like all I can do is just watch. Maybe like that's all I've wanted to tell myself like that. Even though like I feel like oh I can go in, I can help, I can do this. Maybe my dream was just my way of telling myself like all I can do. It's
And
something I didn't want to accept.
Jay, to that point, it sounds like it's almost more about letting go. It's like
Yeah.
I just things happen the way they're gonna happen, and it's gonna suck. I'm gonna get FOMO of not going into the like burning building, so to speak, proverbially.
Yeah. But, like same thing with your dream too. Be like something you're not ready to tell yourself, but like starting to get there, or dreams are at least.
I'm aware of, yeah.
yeah, it seems like I have not been willing to tell myself for like the past 2 years because it's just like it still keeps happening. Like I just have dreams with my childhood friends, and it's just like, what is it now? Is it? I guess it's just me. It could be that like I take life quite seriously, and it's just like, all right, this is time for maturity and all this, and but I guess it could be a part of me saying like, don't forget the fun that you're supposed to have, but that doesn't. I don't feel like that's the right way of putting it either. There's something there that when I feel it in the real world, I will know. I
Yeah.
feel like it's got something to do with that feeling of like that childlike feeling.
Yeah, where it's like you don't have any responsibilities.
Yeah.
You're free and inhibited, like because like what were you doing when you were like 5 years old? You were like playing together. You weren't like doing tests like you were when you were 17. Like
Yeah, exactly. You already got me feeling that, right? That feeling, that childhood
that
fight.
sentiment. It's the freedom, the inhibition. Being a child. It's a great
Exactly.
thing. Just play. Maybe you just need to go play.
Yeah, and you just don't feel like you're judged at all.
Yeah.
I feel like I could be doing the judging more than anybody else, but you with T Hero, you can tell what other people are thinking, right? So, yeah, feeling that loosening up and the lack of inhibition, or the just the freedom of not caring about the consequences and just doing whatever you want. That's cool. That's fun.
Yeah, being with people who will want you, no matter what.
Yeah, and we do crazy stuff. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Do cool shit.
But now I wonder though, like, why Harry Potter? Granted, I watched Harry Potter last year with my brother. We watched all of them, but like it it's happening. It has happened before more often than like other things. Like I like
Nobody in
Star
real
Wars.
life was in Harry Potter dreams. Like
Say what?
it was just you in those Harry Potter dreams and with the actors. Like nobody in real life, right?
Yeah. Nobody from like that was with me in Hogwarts or something like that.
It was just you, like, going through the playing Quidditch or something.
Yeah, I think even Quidditch was in there. Here, I can quickly.
Well, I gotta imagine that kind of ties into like the childhood sense of inhibition, because like, like think about I saw like the first Harry Potter movie again about a year ago, and it's actually really cool. I saw it in like a movie theater on my way out here in Salt Lake City. They had a private viewing, which I met up with some of my friends in Salt Lake. But anyway, they like that whole movie. I remember even seeing as a child. It came out like 20 years ago. It was just this whole spectacle of grandeur and like do 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 do. Like it was just like something was just so magical about it, and like, and I think that kind of ties into it being very childlike too, because
Yeah.
there's like there's that kind of sense of like wonder. I think it's a sense of wonder too, because you don't know what's gonna happen, but everything's safe too, because it's a child's movie.
Yeah, and like, oh, dude, now here we go. Here's some big
Yeah,
points.
all right.
Right?
Yeah, how you're feeling it?
J.K. Rowling, INFJ. Harry Potter, INFJ. Jay Patel, INFJ.
Let's go.
Right?
Dude, you're the guy in the TV show.
Oh, there you go. Exactly.
That'd be weird.
That would
And
be
Callum, I'm the TV. No. That's another guy. But like, I'm just.
You're the evil.
Callum, I'm Nick Cannon.
I'm the evil Pikmin.
Destroying people's thoughts.
Yes. Okay, yeah. So I actually found one dream, and yeah, it was with people. It was with my friend Matt Kinosh, who I was like childhood friends with. We were closest friends with, and now we don't talk to him anymore, which is so strange. And we're late for classes. My friend Mark is there, another childhood friend from that same elementary school, and Kathleen, who happens to also be from that same elementary school. Umbridge, first, I don't remember. My grammar is shit when I wake up, so bear with me on this. Umbridge, like Judge, where I'm defending Harry Potter, we get into multiple duels. One guy at the cafeteria asked for iced tea, but had trouble reaching the top button for it and got water instead. Okay. I don't know why that's in my dream, man. But yeah. Oh, wait. No. I thought it said something. Oh, okay. Some girl was falsely accusing Harry in court. I don't get it. But whatever.
Some girl was falsely accusing Harry in court. Sounds like court these days.
Yeah, honestly.
Like,
Oh, wait. I have
beer butter, whatever those drinks
Wait,
were.
how long ago was this stream?
Oh, good question. Let's see. July 20th. That's right. July 24th, 2020.
So a year ago?
Yeah.
Already 2021.
Yeah. Star Wars. All right. Doesn't look like. I don't think I have much in terms of Star Wars. Because I was then gonna go and say like, ooh, I do. Okay, see, Luke Skywalker, INFJ, Darth Vader, ESTP is right here.
Think about that.
Yeah, but honestly, there's not really much to that one. So, but
Or
let's
maybe
go in.
it's like, again, your dreams are trying to tell you. Maybe you just want to find an INFJ. Like maybe that's something you want to experience.
Yeah.
Like be close to one.
Yeah, I really like them. Like I said before to you guys in private, it's a spectrum. They're the biggest variance between them, right?
I was talking about
so good, or they can be so.
Wait, we were?
Easy.
Yeah, remember we were talking about INFJ checks and like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I went on. This is how you'll find the story, Levko. So like, I was vegan for a little while. I'm no longer vegan, and I went on this dating app called Vegly, and it was like a vegan vegetarian dating app. And like there's some really interesting, colorful souls on there, as you'd imagine, right?
Yeah.
Someone living the vegan lifestyle. And I was just like, all right, well, who are these girls? So I find this one girl, and she's like, got like these, like, I don't know, maybe it's like outer space or like very spiritual, like tattoo all across her chest. And like, she looks like she lives in like a tree or something. And so I just messaged her. I'm like, INFJ question mark. She's like, yes. She's like,
Oh my gosh.
I was like, oh my God, why? Why is that so accurate? Because like you said it best. You're like, sometimes these INFJ girls are so weird. I'm like, yeah, dude, you're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong. Or they can be completely normal too.
Yeah,
Oh,
whoever this
go ahead,
INFJ
Jay.
is, you want them to be. It seems like from your dreams, it would be preferred if they're subconscious focus.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
100%. Like the girl, like I think I've kind of narrowed it down that like I'm shadow focused, and I could be wrong, and I'm willing to be corrected by
Yeah,
all means.
I think you're shadow focused.
Yeah, and I think it's just like, yeah, I need someone that can bring happiness, and that's what subconscious focused people do, right?
Yeah.
Whereas the shadow focused people, they bring maturity to a happy person. It's just a very nice balance.
Yep.
Very yin and yang.
Yeah, maybe I need an ISTJ girl that's ENFP focused.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I can get a good experience from an ISTP and an ISFP as well. The I guess like
Yeah.
oh wow, okay. So I think we might have I was very much thinking that when it comes down to relationships that I would be probably either going to be with an INFJ or an ESTP girl. But maybe we have to like eliminate ESTP if I want to have like these positive experiences. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I mean,
I have
definitely
to.
worthwhile to think about.
Yeah, but I guess that's kind of stretching it too far. Might as well experience everyone, and then that might be a euphemism for something else. But like but I mean like experience all types and then like know who they are and then decide. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I'll have to keep it in mind though.
Cool.
I appreciate you guys going like the longest with my dream on this one because like,
I don't know.
It's a good thing
think
Templars have a bad track of time anyway.
the philosophers we know our shit, our timing and everything like that. So
That's what Chase told me when I had the first time I had what was it? What's it
a
called?
typing.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Chase, yeah, I actually do have a couple of dreams with Chase. And like the most recent one has me thinking that when it comes to so to give context, the dream was basically Chase told me that I rely too much on the men's group, and I get this feeling that one day I'm gonna have to leave the men's group in order for me to become a man and to like surpass Metal Gear. No, I mean like surpass like a higher level of some sort.
But the thing is, again, like, yeah, even Chase in my dream, right? It was just Chase, but it was actually just me in the form of Chase trying to tell myself something. So like,
Mhm.
I wasn't reaching out to anyone, and I felt bad. And Chase was like, "Yeah, INFJs get lonely because like they never reach out to anyone." So again, same thing with you. Maybe you just feel like you rely on us too much.
Yeah, I don't see. I was saying before to you guys, like, it doesn't make any sense because I don't rely on you guys like for anything. Not that I wouldn't rely on you guys. It's just more of like I don't really like. I'm pretty self-sufficient, so
You got your own life going on,
Yeah.
yeah. But I think it could be something related to like I'm looking for NI from other people within the group. And so like to like help me decide like what I want to do. But I don't know, maybe like my journey is to find out what I want to do and then not rely on other people to figure that out for me, but like for me to find it within myself. So
It's
I
a
don't
trick
know.
question, right? Or NI.
Yeah, It'd be cool to master it one day. Not gonna lie.
So maybe that's what that's about, you know,
Like,
mastering your.
Glennon Doyle.
Glennon Doyle.
Yeah, she's she's the ESFJ, the chase type. She like she was like married, and then one day she saw this woman, and she's like, this is like, and obviously like she like ended up like splitting with her husband, and he ended up like wanting to be with this woman. And Chase was talking about like, oh, it's like, oh, she's probably like it's like the first time she's probably allowed herself to like want something that was a natural, like, biological response.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Huh.
Yeah, I just remembered her when you said that, because I just think it's funny. Like, you wouldn't think of NI. Chase didn't say it was NI mastery, but like NI Trickster like wanting something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If anything, like I have things that, once Bitcoin goes to the moon, right? I know what I want to get myself. Like, I'd like to get myself a new monitor and a new TV. Well, of course, a house, like a rental unit and all that. So, no, there's those kind of things. But I guess, like, I want to have good experiences for sure. But it looks like my dreams are also telling me I want to have an experience, but with people that make me feel like, I'm back in my childhood again. So
That wonder, that childlike wonder.
yes. Oh, and one more thing. I have been thinking for like the longest of time that there should be a Harry Potter TV series, maybe either to flesh out the entire book or books in the TV series, or for it to be a completely different route, where it could be like Harry's parents, that timeline, or it could be Harry's kids timeline, whatever. Or it doesn't even have to be Harry related. Like, it could just be anything related to like
There's that
Hogwarts kids.
there's a Harry Potter game coming out.
Yes.
The RPG one.
I would see like Voldemort stories, or like, where like Harry's dad had to fight him and stuff. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't know if they were at the exact same time, but yeah. Oh, at that point, yeah. Okay, no, fair enough. Yeah. So like when Harry was a kid, then.
Yeah, when I think he was like a little baby, like, like do a prequel right before like the first Harry Potter. That'd
Right.
become kind of like how Star Wars did Rogue One, where that was like a whole story, and it was just like a little small piece of like the first movie. Like a lot of, I forgot what the people were. They're like, a lot of people had to die to get these plans to the Death Star, and then they did a whole movie on that, which is really cool. That was
Right,
like
right.
one that's come out in the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
I loved Rogue One.
Yeah, it was definitely a better Star Wars movie. Actually, so it was. I didn't like it at first as much as I did the second time. I rewatched it and I was like, I thought at first like, oh, it's only like the last third of the movie, or last third of the movie. I don't know too sure how my camera works, right? Last third of the movie where it's like all wars in stars in space and all, but also like in that planet. That was like, oh shoot, this is like intense, and like then Darth Vader at the end, spoilers, right? But like, but then I was like, the first 2/3 of the movie is kind of like boring. Then I rewatched it. I'm like, dang, it's actually not bad. And I used to think like if I ever do a Star Wars marathon, it's not worth watching Rogue One. It's just worth watching 3, 4, 5, 6. But now I'm willing to watch Rogue One every single time. So.
Fair enough. Cool.
And on that bombshell.
Yeah. I think we'll be wrapping up here. Thank you to everyone who stayed the entirety of this session. I hope you guys got a lot of good insight about our dreams, and hopefully can help start figure out what your dreams are all about.
Yeah, make sure to leave a comment down below and subscribe, like that jazz.
Ring the notification bell, or hit the notification bell. All
We
that
don't post
jazz.
often, so we won't annoy you.
Yeah, exactly. And definitely, if you guys have any dreams, be very interested in trying to analyze them for you.
Yeah.
'Cause, like, the
Also
mo-
with your dreams, make sure like you put down like your or what type you think you are at least.
Yeah, that'll be cool. That'll be really cool. That'll help us out. And I think the beautiful part about this is that the more minds, the better in a way.
Yep.
I mean, maybe there could be one person that is 100% right, but we don't really know, right? But with more minds and more, I hate to say it, but like more TE, you get more TI users like the Callum and Jade that are here to also help figure that out. So
Or white
that way,
Pikmin.
yeah, or white Pikmin. You know? Stay
Or
away from those white
other
Pikmin.
game shows about people going off into the Hunger Games or something.
Yeah. But hey, more minds, the closer we can get to the truth. That'll be cool.
Cool.
All right, see you everyone.
Later.